Hello everyone, welcome to the Buzz the Prey Manga. Today we continue the latest Global Freeze chapter, rewritten and edited by me in English for a smooth reading experience. All visuals and story flow are personally edited to give you the best manga style storytelling. Support the original creator by checking the official manga. So let's dive right into the today's chapter.
Chapter 2770, 1 The Starry Sky Corridor Approaches, Part 1. Was it successful? Deng Yuanbo couldn't hold back his tears and pressed his hands firmly against the experimental table. Professor Leonardo da Vinci poured cold water on the idea, saying, "He has only woken up. Whether he has succeeded or not still needs to be confirmed through further experiments." Deng Shintong looked at his hands, and a confident smile appeared on his lips. "I know I've changed. So this is the Sea of Ether. You were able to connect to that mysterious world a long time ago, weren't you? A realm that only geniuses are qualified to touch. The cleansing and transformation at the level of the soul is so wonderful. And contact with the ether and transcendence of the ether is the essence of the evolution of life. I understand everything. Zhang Yi, just you wait. Sooner or later, I will surpass you." Donghe City, Donghaegu. This is the east gate of the Huashu Kingdom, the front line directly facing the mutated marine creatures. On a lonely sea cliff in the city, a man dressed in a blue and white naval combat uniform sits like a sculpture. The sea breeze was biting, carrying salty, damp vapor and ice crystals, which lashed against his unshaven face. The waves crashed against the rocks, creating a deafening roar. But he seemed to hear nothing and feel nothing. He simply gazed into the distance at the vast, boundless sea that roared from time to time. Even a few seagulls landed on his shoulder without any suspicion, preening their feathers as if they regarded him as a part of nature. Li Chonggong. This man, once known as Emperor Chen, a top expert in the Huashu Kingdom's army, has been sitting here in seclusion for 2 whole years. 2 years ago, Zhang Yi's rise was like a mountain, pressing down on all the strong figures of his generation, making it hard for them to breathe. That kind of strength is not simply leading, but a leapfrog development. Even geniuses like King Arthur and Indra felt a profound sense of powerlessness. Resentment, jealousy, and self-doubt once brought Li Chonggong's mental state to the brink of collapse. He once lost his way in the struggle for power, which caused his strength to stagnate. Until that one time, when he was sent as an envoy to the Deep Blue Kingdom, he had a long talk with the king of the strange fish, Jin. "Your knife is too heavy." Jin's words still echoed in his ears. "It's not the weight of the knife itself, but the many distractions you give it. Power, fame, ambition, all of these slow down your knife. If you want to move quickly, you have to learn to let go of things you don't need." At that moment, Li Chonggong had an epiphany. He returned to the East China Sea, setting aside his airs as a commander and treating himself as an ordinary soldier, spending his days there watching the sea and listening to the waves. The sea can calm your mind, because you will feel that everything you care about is actually insignificant in the face of the vast sea and nature. Calm your mind, concentrate, and carefully consider how your own abilities can be liberated. Zhang Yi sent the moon meditation method to Suo, who had studied it and benefited greatly from it. After a long time, he slowly realized something. Instead of trying to surpass him and taking Zhang Yi as your goal, you should first try to surpass yourself. I don't want to be perfect in every aspect. If I can be the best in one area, that's great. Therefore, he no longer pursued wide-range damage or flashy moves. He only pursues one thing: speed. It's fast to the extreme, fast enough to surpass sound, to surpass space, and even to touch the edge of time. For 2 years, he never drew his military knife again. He compressed and concealed all his sharpness, killing intent and spirit, hiding them within the seemingly ordinary gun barrel. Concealing one's sharpness is for the moment it is unsheathed, to amaze all. Da. A series of footsteps broke the tranquility of the sea cliff. The seagulls were startled and took flight. Li Chonggong slowly opened his eyes. There was no glint of brilliance in his eyes, only a deep calm like the ocean. Standing behind him was Suzaku, clad in crimson armor. This usually fiery-tempered female warrior felt a strange sensation welling up inside her as she looked at the ordinary-looking man in front of her. The man he used to call brother now seemed like a weathered middle-aged man. Suzaku's voice remained as cold as ever. Li Shuai. The starry sky corridor is already close to the solar system and will reach the edge of the solar system in at most 1 month. The commander wants you to go back and discuss countermeasures together. Li Changgong remained silent for a moment, then slowly stood up. As he moved, the originally raging sea breeze strangely paused for a moment. He reached out and picked up the weapon from his knees, gently stroking the cold scabbard. It's been 2 years. His voice was hoarse, yet it possessed a metallic quality. What we talk about isn't important. What's important is what Zhang Yi is planning to do. He leaned against the nearby rock to stand up, sheathed his sword aside, and then gave Suzaku a casual smile. However, if given the chance, I really want to find a suitable opportunity to draw my sword. Gangnam, Blizzard City. The blizzard howled outside the window, turning the whole world a ghastly white. In the warm office, Zhu Zheng sat on the mahogany chair that symbolized supreme power, his brows furrowed, holding a newly delivered intelligence report in his hand. Still no news? Zhu Zheng rubbed his throbbing temples, his tone tinged with anxiety. Lan Xinqing, the secretary standing opposite him, adjusted his glasses and answered cautiously. Commander, the young lady's whereabouts have always been elusive. Since that battle 2 years ago, she has ventured alone into the deepest part of the Arctic ice field, saying that she is searching for the true meaning of absolute zero. Zhu Zheng was stunned for a moment, then fell silent. Why did she set her sights on the winter goddess of Fremont? Lan Xinqing said, Miss Zhu Yu's abilities are diverse. She is someone who pursues the ultimate. And in her opinion, the strongest existence in the field of freezing must be the Arctic ice field. Whether it is the winter goddess Morana or the Arctic glacier clan, they are both excellent learning targets. In recent years, she has occasionally appeared, and each appearance is accompanied by a killing. Lanzhou New City retrieved a set of data. According to statistics, in the past 2 years, more than 30 of the Epsilon-class mutant beasts under her command have fled. Intelligence assessment suggests that Mrs. Current Strength has likely undergone a qualitative change. The two diametrically opposed powers within her, burning and frost, seem to be achieving a terrifying balance. Chapter 2770, To the Starry Sky Corridor Approaches, Part 2. Hearing this, Zhu Zheng's tightly furrowed brows finally relaxed a little, and a hint of relief flashed in his eyes. A deep ambition. Good, very good. Zhu Zheng stood up, walked to the window, and looked at the snow falling all around. Although Zhang Yi is strong, he is not someone we can completely control. Although the Deng family has sided with him, that was their choice. Throughout my life, I, Zhu Zheng, have never been inferior to anyone. If one day my daughter is able to surpass Zhang Yi and stand in that supreme position. Zhu Zheng gently pressed his palm against the glass, as if he were holding the entire map of the Huaxiu Kingdom. At that time, I will be the true master of Blizzard City, and even the entire Huaxiu Kingdom. Pass down the order. Zhu Zheng turned around, his eyes becoming cold and resolute. Use all means to contact Zhu Yu. Tell her, the Starry Sky Corridor has arrived. It's her stage, and also our chance to reach the top. A great man is born between heaven and earth. How can he remain subservient to others for long? Give me a chance, and I will make Zhang Yi see my true colors. He thought of Zhu Yu, and his expression softened. Zhu Yu, she is my treasure, my hope. A superhuman who can advance infinitely. Anyone who dares to underestimate her will definitely suffer a great loss. As the star corridor drew near, the entire planet Earth resembled a pot of boiling water. Whether it's the Huaxiu Kingdom and various ancient civilizations in the open, or the Pupil Organization and the Holy See in the shadows, or those lone strongmen hidden in the corners. Everyone was eager to get started, making final preparations for the legendary Omega Staircase, for that last glimmer of hope and survival. A grand curtain, spanning the entire globe, is about to be raised. In the vast universe, the solar system is a seemingly insignificant existence in a corner of the Milky Way. However, there is almost no more perfect location in the entire universe. Even the slightest numerical deviation would prevent Earth from supporting life. This is the chosen land created by the Creator. On this day, on Earth, a planet in the solar system, all the observatories observed a breathtaking scene. The colossal structure, known as the Starry Sky Corridor, finally traversed the vast void, casting its immense shadow over the Kuiper Belt. Even billions of kilometers away from Earth, its enormous and unreasonable mass still triggered a terrible chain reaction. Neptune's orbit has been slightly shifted to a point visible to the naked eye, and billions of asteroids and comets have been captured by its terrifying gravitational waves. They were either torn to shreds, becoming star rings surrounding them, or they were flung like slingshots into the depths of the solar system, turning into a series of potential meteor shower disasters. On Earth, the tides became violent, and the Earth's magnetic field became violently disordered. The aurora no longer appears at the poles, but dances like a ghost above the equator. A crisis even more terrifying than the Ice Age that began a decade or so ago has arrived. It's finally here. Tianhai City, beneath the topmost dome of Tianhai Fortress. Zhang Yi sat there alone, not turning on the holographic projection, but instead using a primitive yet highly sophisticated optical telescope to quietly gaze into deep space. In his field of vision, the double helix structure emitting a faint blue light looked like a giant, slowly rotating drill bit, trying to bore a hole into this peaceful solar system. As Zhang Yi gazed into the abyss roared at all living beings. Buzz! Without any warning. There were no warnings and no media restrictions. A strange wave swept across the entire solar system in an instant. This wave disregarded distance, vacuum, and even the obstruction of matter. From the desolate far side of the moon to the bustling surface of Earth, from the mermaid kingdom beneath the deep sea to the magma lizard tribe deep within the Earth's crust. Within the solar system, all life forms possessing the concept of intelligence, whether they are 6 generations of humans, ancient descendants, or newly mutated beings with newly acquired intelligence, simultaneously experienced a cold, grand, and emotionless voice resonating in their minds. It was not any known language, yet it allowed all living beings to instantly understand its meaning. Warning: detection detected illegal source, Starry Sky Corridor. Threat level: cataclysmic. Activate emergency immunization mechanism. Command: all intelligent entities in this plane immediately proceed to eliminate the source of the invasion. Reward mechanism activated. Destroying a certain mass of the invasion source or clearing internal contaminants will grant high purity, infusion. Killing the core target will grant the right to racial advancement. The sound faded, but the tremor from the depths of the soul lingered for a long time. This is the will of the Creator. Zhang Yi clutched his throbbing head, a look of horror flashing in his eyes. Without any hesitation, they immediately confirmed the origin of the sound. This was the first time Zhang Yi had seen a higher level of will directly issuing orders to all races. Is this the method of the Creator God, who controls everything and raises all races? Due to the vast difference in dimensions, the Creator cannot directly manipulate the material world. He can issue a mission and give a carrot called Mata, which will cause billions of living beings in the entire solar system to rush towards that star corridor that can disrupt the stability of the universe, like mad dogs. Racial promotion rights. Zhang Yi's eyes immediately brightened. Those races favored by the Creator will become incredibly powerful. For example, the Creator's own sons, the Aihen race, and the 4th generation of Arc people, who were specially created to suppress the Druk people. They all possess a higher spirituality because they have been blessed by the Creator. For example, an opportunity has arisen. For any race, this is an irresistible poison. At this moment, every intelligent being heard this voice. Even those races that initially paid little attention to the star corridor now felt their hearts burning with passion. The Star Clan was incredibly powerful back then, and at one point they suppressed the Druk people so much that they ate mud and rocks. If they hadn't betrayed the Creator, this world would already belong to the Star Clan. If one has enough strength, who would willingly let others control their destiny? Watch your words. If an opportunity is right in front of us, we must seize it. At the same time, Tianhai City, the highest biological laboratory, Zhou Kur was wearing a pristine white lab coat and goggles, staring intently at a set of microscopes in front of her. Chapter 2773 on Sea City Rally 1. The commotion outside seemed irrelevant to her. Even the divine voice that had just resounded in her mind only made her pause for a second before the dropper in her hand resumed its steady flow. Under her microscope, a brutal war is raging in the microscopic world. The petri dish contains active cells taken from the strongest warrior of the Fong Wolf clan. These cells possess terrifying vitality and aggressiveness, representing the pinnacle of known physical strength. However, at this moment, a strange gray-black color appeared at the edge of this red cluster of cells. That's a lesion. A tiny amount of cosmic radiation dust that Zhang Yi brought back from the outer edge of the starry sky corridor was carefully inoculated here by Zhou Kur. The grayish-black disease cells, like an army of wolves with intelligence, are frantically devouring and corrupting the normal cells of the Fong Wolf clan. They are stronger, more ferocious, and know no fatigue. The healthy cells in the nucleus region are on the verge of collapsing. If the host intervenes, the Fong Wolf cell group will surely die. So, even the Fong Wolf clan, with their superhuman physical strength, can't withstand this kind of attack on their own? We have to resort to underhanded methods to interfere. Zhou Kur muttered to herself, her voice frighteningly calm. She slowly pushed the dropper in her hand, and a drop of golden liquid fell into the middle area of the petri dish. It was a highly concentrated nutrient solution, mixed with a hormone that could stimulate cell division. Sizzle. Nourished by this sweet rain, the Fong Wolf clan cells, which had been steadily declining, suddenly became as if they had been injected with chicken blood. They divide wildly, becoming larger and stronger, with their cellular structure becoming more robust, even developing harder cell walls and aggressive pseudopodia. The previously one-sided situation was instantly reversed. The strengthened healthy cells began to fight back, surrounding, battling, and devouring the gray-black diseased cells. Zhou Kur watched this scene quietly, a meaningful glint in her eyes. This is what is known as the immune response. When my body is invaded by foreign viruses, I, as the test subject, will personally go out and fight the virus hand-to-hand. All I need to do is activate the immune system in this petri dish and provide it with enough nutrition and stimulation so that the white blood cells can work hard. She straightened up, took off her goggles, and looked out the window at the somewhat turbulent sky. We are all just cells in the Creator's petri dish. Only some cells want to live, while others want to detach from the culture dish. See Fortress, Dome Observatory. Zhang Yi was still savoring the information brought by the mysterious signal when suddenly, a piercing alarm broke the silence. Warning! Warning! Extremely high-intensity external signal detected forcibly accessing the network. The defense wall is being breached. Breach failed. It is reassembling. The opponent used quantum entanglement technology on an unknown frequency band. Yang Xinxin's voice then came through the communicator, speaking very quickly. Brother. An extremely powerful signal source is forcibly hijacking our global communication network. The other party's technology level is very high, showing obvious characteristics of a fourth-generation civilization. I cannot stop it. Yang Xinxin's voice carried a hint of helplessness. The other party's level of technological civilization was clearly far superior to theirs. Even with Yang Xinxin's top-notch computer skills, she couldn't prevent the other party from intruding on her information. However, it wasn't a malicious attack. The other side simply occupied our communication channel. There's no need to stop it. Zhang Yi looked at the large screen in front of him, where the original image of the starry sky corridor had turned into a speck of static. He tilted his head and said with a playful expression, "Since it is the will of God that has just been issued, then the messenger of God should naturally show his face. The occurrence of major events inevitably involves certain individuals seeking to seize control of the narrative and profit from it. The one who utters the word must be someone with absolute power. The next second, the snowflakes disappeared. On the screen, a scene appeared that the Japanese felt was sacred and inviolable. The background is a magnificent white city suspended in the clouds, with towering spires and the sound of hymns. In the very center of the picture stands a creature with a perfect face. She has an appearance that is extremely similar to that of a human, with skin as white as the finest mutton fat and long golden hair like flowing sunlight. Humans would probably find it hard to imagine that a naturally born life form could look like this, because it is so perfect that it is without any flaws. She's practically the same as Zhang Yi. After all, Zhang Yi's body had already been perfectly modified by Shokur using the dye ability. Being handsome is just the most basic attribute. The most striking feature of the figure in the picture is the two pairs of pure white, enormous wings that stretch for several meters when spread out. Its wings flutter gently, scattering dappled sunlight. This is the pinnacle of the fourth generation of the Ark civilization, the close relatives of the Star Clan, the Feathered People. This is the prototype of the Godar in Western mythology. The winged figure slowly opened, its voice not traveling through the air, but resonating directly in everyone's minds, carrying a profound sense of compassion and love. I am the chief of the Feathered People's clan, the fiery envoy Bamir. The creators will has come to the beings of this era. The Starry Sky Corridor is a malignant tumor of the old era, a heresy that defies the will of God. Its arrival will bring destruction and calamity to this world. As the most loyal servant of the Creator and the former guardian of this planet, the Feathered People have a responsibility to lead all races to jointly resist this catastrophe. In the image, Bymir slightly raises his chin, his gaze seemingly piercing through the screen, watching every viewer. At 3 p.m. today, our tribe will convene the great assembly of all tribes to defend against the enemy in the important city of Anzi in Northern Europe. We cordially invite the leaders of all civilizations and the strongest warriors of all races to attend. At that time, we will release nuclear intelligence about the Star Corridor and formulate a joint war plan. For the survival of this world, for the fate of all races, and for the glory of our Lord, please, attend on time. After he finished speaking, the image froze on a golden invitation card and then slowly faded away. Communication has been restored, but Zhang Yi's brows furrowed tightly. The Feathered People have finally managed to hold back and jump out? Zhang Yi tapped his fingers on the table. This race is very well hidden. Montesquieu previously mentioned that they were the backers of the Holy See, living in seclusion in folded space or on floating islands at extremely high altitudes and rarely interfering in surface affairs. Now, taking advantage of the crisis in the Starry Sky Corridor, they have made a high-profile appearance and immediately adopted the posture of leader of the martial arts world, intending to rule over all races. Chapter 2774 on Sea City Rally 2. The third generation of God-level civilization, a close relative of the star race. This relationship is quite interesting. Zhang Yi sneered. Is this an attempt to seize control of the Starry Sky Corridor under the guise of righteousness? The so-called destruction is probably just a smokescreen. Go or go. This is a problem. If you go, you will be seen as an outcast, and the winged people may even label you as disobeying the will of the gods and target you. After all, nowadays, all races within the entire solar system will face the threat of the Star Corridor. If someone wants to live in seclusion, their respective tribes will absolutely not tolerate such a person's existence. Imagine this. You are fighting desperately on the front lines, while others are hiding in the rear enjoying the fruits of victory, and even after your clan's strongest warriors have fallen in battle, some can launch an attack on your side. Can you tolerate it? Means if you go there, then means you've entered someone else's territory. Anzer in Northern Europe, the stronghold of the winged people. Far from the sphere of influence of the Huashu Kingdom and the Dragon Clan, who knows if it's a trap or a trap. Among all the races, how many powerful figures covet what Zhang Yi possesses? There's also S talent, a talent that awakened super-universe level abilities, which also stole by taking S origin. As Zhang Yi hesitated, S private communicator vibrated. It is a special encrypted channel. Zhang Yi answered the call, and by Long Jiwanmo's refined yet indifferent voice came through. Zhang Yi, did you receive that angel flyer? Received. Zhang Yi smiled wryly. This is giving me a headache. Senior, what exactly is the background of this feathered people? They're so arrogant, acting like they're part of the alliance of 10,000 races right from the start. A bunch of arrogant idiots with bird feathers. The tone of Bailong's voice clearly revealed his disdain. They consider themselves the darlings of creation and love to make a big deal out of nothing. However, their strength is indeed not to be underestimated. During the first generation of civilization, they controlled the sky and even clashed with the dragons in the late Fifth Era, making them old rivals. So, what does the senior mean? Yes, of course I'll go. Bailong said decisively. If the Starry Sky Corridor were to return, the impact would be enormous. Gravitational tides have already begun to tear apart the Earth's tectonic plates. If this is not resolved, everyone will be in trouble. At a time like this, no race can remain uninvolved. Also, although the feathered people are arrogant, they do possess some top-secret information about the Star Clan. It would be good to go and listen to it. As Bailong said before, the winged people, being of the same generation, possess some information about the Star Clan of the same era. You don't need to worry about safety. Our Dragon Clan will be there too. With us there, those birdmen won't dare to cause trouble. Hearing that the Dragon Clan was backing him up, Zhang Yi immediately felt more confident. But still somewhat reassured, she asked, Senior, I have another question. If the Starry Sky Corridor matter is handled well, will it really lead to the end of the world? The signal from the Creator sounds terrifying. The world of a collection of unconsciousness, Kagago. This is the first time that this being has issued a notification to all intelligent beings in the world. In the past, only a few people were able to receive its signal, such as Zhang Yi, who had just entered the realm of Ipsilon. It's clear that Kagago attaches great importance to the return of the Starry Sky Corridor. There was a moment of silence on the other end of the communication, as if Bailong was also thinking. Destroy the world? Not so easy. Bailong's voice was steady and confident. This solar system testing ground was created by the Creator with countless efforts. The Creator will not allow a failed experiment to destroy it. If handled properly, it could indeed become very troublesome. The surface could be cleansed and many weak races would be wiped out. But it wouldn't cause the complete destruction of the world. A desolate Star Clan, even if it was once invincible, has ultimately become dust of history. The dead are the ones who turn the world upside down. Upon hearing, to the point of world destruction, Zhang Yi breathed a slight sigh of relief. If the Earth were to explode, there would still be room for maneuver. But driven by an ingrained instinct for caution and fear of death, Zhang Yi inexplicably added, Senior. What if things really get out of control? What if the dragons decide to leave Earth and run away? Zhang Yi chuckled twice, his tone extremely sincere. Please take us with you. I may not have many other good qualities, but I am obedient and I bring my own food. I will definitely not be a burden to you. There was a deathly silence on the other end of the communicator. Even through the screen, Zhang Yi could feel Bailong's expression of utter dismay and speechlessness. A Black Knight-level inhuman, considered one of the strongest on Earth, actually thought of hitching a ride and running away at this critical juncture. Beep, beep, beep. Bailong hung up the call immediately. Zhang Yi looked at the black screen, shrugged, and didn't feel embarrassed. Gi, do you understand the concept of preparing for a rainy day? Survival is the only thing that matters. He stood up, looked out the window at the turbulent sky, and his gaze gradually sharpened. Nordic Anzi angels? Then let's go and meet this group of so-called messengers of God. Xion, get ready. We need to be there on time this afternoon. This year's gathering is much more interesting than the All Races Conference 5 years ago. After all, many races didn't even attend that meeting, especially the top-tier powerful forces who wouldn't deign to discuss anything with a weak race like the sixth generation. But this time, with the agreement reached, it's unlikely that any race will ignore this meeting. As the great assembly for the resisting enemy of all races drew near, the air on the entire planet seemed to become thick and heavy. Although this was a meeting initiated by the feathered race and open to all intelligent races. 6 generations have divided the country into multiple kingdoms and factions, but after previous resource consolidation, there are still up to 10 large-scale factions. But within the ranks of the 6th generation of humans, everyone knows that the power to speak at this meeting has long since come down to the quantity and quality of the participants. They can always send out a large number of people to the Ginseng Association so they can select a few representatives. So at noon that day, several top-of-the-line aircraft from around the world landed at Tianhai Airport. After emergency consultations, the major nations and alliances of the 6 generations of humanity finally reached a consensus. They selected their top representatives to form a temporary delegation called the Human Delegation to travel to Anzur.
Which part you enjoyed the most? If you love manga style stories, don't forget to like the video and subscribe the Buzz Play Manga. See you in the next chapter with more surprises.